fellow gamers, Chatty Sisa here. We have some update on the new book from Andrzej Sapkowski regarding Witcher or the Witcher series, and then a little bit also about the newest Witcher game, the Witcher 4 as it's for now called. So let me go through the information on the book first. The Redanian Intelligence, which is quite a well-known site, I'm sure for all the Witcher fans, has been notified that the new Witcher book is already available. They have revealed it in this article, which you can see on the screen. It was posted on the 21st, that's last week, and on the 22nd, a day later, there was the first chapter or a small portion of the new book released already in the new issue of Nowa Fantastica magazine. So the Polish fans had already the chance to read through a little bit of the new book. Just in case you don't know what Nowa Fantastica is, it's the Fantastica magazine which has been there since 1982 in Poland. And it is in fact also the same magazine where Sapkowski has been posting his stories since the start. You can also see it here. Andrzej Sapkowski published his first short story about The Witcher in the magazine, a debut that led to the publishing success of the entire Witcher saga. And it is also mentioned on the wiki page for The Witcher, where you can also see that it was actually in 1986 when the short story was submitted by Sapkowski for the magazine. The entire book series followed then during the 90s, the releases in Polish. And as we can see, the English translations happened much later. I think this is mainly because of the success of the Witcher games by CDPR, as many people have been wondering about the saga, and mainly from the English-speaking countries, they were interested in reading it, so they released the translations then during the 2000s. But let's go back to the article by Redanian Intelligence. We can see that this is what was released in Nowa Fantastica. And it is the same cover, which will be also on the book. You can see it already also on the thumbnail of this video. And it's also visible here. The name of the book you can see is Rozdroże Kruków. It can be translated from Polish as Ravens Crossing, Crossroads, or Crossing, Crossroads, or Crossing of the Ravens, Crows. Yeah. Quite a tongue breaker, but we will not know until the translation is released. So that's for now just some of the possible translations that you could have for the English edition. I mean, we were aware that the new book would be directly about Geralt, as Sapkowski revealed already last year. And we also now know which period of his life it would cover, because we know by now that it will be about a very young Geralt when he just started his path at about 18 to 20 years old. And the following sentence also can give you a hint on what the views of Geralt will be in the book and what his personality might look like. As usual, life spares no disappointments. Youthful idealism clashes with reality from time to time. So yeah, it will be a different Geralt than what we used to know from the books, where he's much, much older. It is also said here, for many years Sapkowski said he wouldn't write a prequel or a sequel, but it appears he changed his mind since then. My guess would be simply because it is currently a franchise that is bringing in a lot of money. And yeah, I don't think that it's bad to have something additional as an income when you are retired. So I do understand why he's doing this. It's something where he can again have some gains, not just from the book itself, but if it should be maybe transformed into a game or something similar, then he might have additional options for monetization. So yeah, I'm not saying it's the greatest thing. We know that he was called as well in the past greedy, but yeah, I can on the other hand also understand him why he's doing it. And we do have to say, yeah, Geralt and the entire Witcher universe is very popular, so why not? I will definitely look forward to the translation of this book into Czech. The book will be released on December 1st in Poland. That means in the coming days. And as I mentioned, the first chapter is already in Nova Fantastica. There is also a mention about the Witcher Season 4 from Netflix, which is one of the things that the Redanian intelligence is also talking about. But that is not necessarily something that I would like to highlight. I would like to mention something new that we heard about the Polaris project, or Witcher 4, which is developed by CDPR. And here we have another article by Redanian Intelligence on the updates regarding the next Witcher game. These are a little bit older, they are from November the 8th. I do not really want to regurgitate the information that we have heard already 100 times by now. We have really basically just two new information. One is the new character, or one of the characters that will appear in the game, as is mentioned here, and the other one is a possible release date, which was hinted to be December 2025, so by the end of next year. I do think they will probably need a tiny bit longer if they really want to release a good polished game, and if they want to avoid something similar like what happened to Cyberpunk. So I would think rather that the release date will be probably somewhere in 2026. But one thing that is interesting to know is that the 2025 date was also hinted by the actor who will be portraying the new character in the next Witcher game himself. And he posted an update on his pages with his bio, where he also said that it will be December 25. As you can see on the screen, it's Jake Lampert who will be playing the character called Branko. And this is the only information we do have so far, so we really do not know how important his character will be in the game, whether he will be the main character or just some additional character in the game. That's currently questionable. We do also know that there will be Geralt as well appearing in the game, at least that's what's coming from Doug Cockle, and I did already post this as well in one of my update vids, which is linked now on the screen, where we did hear directly from Doug Cockle that he has been working on Witcher 4. The question was also, of course, by many people wondering whether Geralt will be playing a bigger role. I personally think that he will be only there as a sort of guiding character, or maybe a character that will introduce the new Witcher and the new main character of the trilogy, because as you know, the new game, which will be Witcher 4, it will be a start of a new trilogy. There is some speculation, of course, ongoing regarding the character Branko. Because of the name and the origin of the name, people were guessing that the character will be from the Northern Kingdoms, as opposed to Nilfgaard or Skellige, where those locations have more Germanic names. So it is already a hint about the location of the game. Now, aside from that, from Redanian Intelligence, we also have a Game Rant article, which is also providing some additional information. We see here the information about Branko. There is additional information about the voice director, who will be Kate Saxon, who also worked already, for example, on The Witcher 2 and 3. And then we do have also two separate sources that have recently attached a tentative 2025 release window to Project Polaris. As mentioned, one of them was the actor who's playing the character Branko, but please keep in mind it's mentioned here as well. It's a tentative release window. Yeah, you can see here the screenshot which is confirming the date 2025. Now, aside from all this information, there has been, of course, also some negative publicity going on regarding CDPR this year, where it was discussed in more detail how much the whole studio is now dedicated to ESG and DEI. And many fans are fearing that the game will be very woke. It was so far denied by the studio, and it is really hard to judge because we haven't seen anything from the game yet. We do not know whether the, let's say, DEI topics will be very prevalent in the game. The question is what changed. As we know, there are some people who have left the company in the meantime that were working on the previous games. It does give me a little bit of BioWare, aka Zombieware vibes. Not as much for now as Zombieware, but I am wary. And there is one more thing which makes me very careful with the next game. I will really prefer to see more gameplay, more information and trailers released. If you go to CDPR's page where they have been announcing their EU-funded projects, I mean, this is an older information, but it is stating that the project called Polaris was funded by the European Union. As you can see, it was funded with 150,000, and the duration of the project or the funding was between March 23 and August 24, so this year. But that's not the point which is making me so careful. It is what's written here in the first part. CD Projekt implement the project entitled Polaris, the aim of which was to support the development of the game Polaris. And here it comes. Video game with a highly innovative and creative plot. Now, if we talk about a game that's set in a Witcher universe that follows, let's say, the canon setting and the atmosphere, I wouldn't necessarily call it innovative or a creative plot. I am not sure what to think of this, to be honest. The EU and especially some parts of Europe are really going forward with the DEI and ESG initiatives and full speed ahead. And I don't know what impact really this will have on the game. So as I said, I currently am careful, a little bit skeptical, but I will not judge yet. It is not something that I would like to go into more detail before we have seen anything from the game. It is, I think, too early to judge, but we need to keep things like this in mind. And some additional information, just as I was recording, we've got the news that CD PROJEKT RED has confirmed that Project Polaris has entered full-scale production. The game will be the beginning of a new Witcher saga. As I mentioned, Unreal Engine 5 is being used to build the game, but we also knew this already before. And CD PROJEKT RED has partnered with Epic Games for the new saga of games. The same thing was also confirmed by Sebastian Kalemba, who is game director for CD PROJEKT RED on The Witcher. And as you can see, he's also writing, "I'm thrilled to announce that Project Polaris has entered the full-scale production phase. With new challenges just around the corner, it's the talented and hardworking people who make me believe we can together make the upcoming Witcher saga a remarkable experience. No stopping now, stay tuned for what's on the other side of the coin." So this is all that I have for today. I hope you did like the quick update. In case you have your own thoughts on whether the book or the game, please let me know in the comment section below. It would be much appreciated. And also hit that like button if you like this vid. It's very helpful for the YouTube algorithm. Thank you very much already in advance. And thanks a lot for watching. Stay tuned and game on.